Today I decided to do a few things for myself. So after going to the gym and doing some work, I decided I wanted to come to the park. And I passed the park, and this is the park here. It is beautiful. Look at the sky and everything is so nice. So the reason I decided to come to this park is because it has importance to me. Ooh. This was the park that I came to during the pandemic when I had my mental breakdown. At the time, it wasn't that far from my house. And I would just put the kids in the car and come here, for them to play. And they had bikes. So as I started going around the area, I started realizing how big the space was. Because it's not just this park. It's actually a neighborhood. And I said, let me look through this neighborhood and sort of nice houses and everything. And I was like, wow, okay, I can start to visualize my house that I want. And I started coming Saturday mornings, and I would walk around when I got a coach to help me. And I would walk around and just talk to her. And I realized walking around the neighborhood 3 times was equivalent to a mile. So I would get a mile in every week. And that's how I started to exercise and lose weight. But the crazy thing is, it was so hard for me to decide to do that for myself, to decide to just come to the park by myself without the kids every week and take some time for me. Because I thought somebody was going to be mad at me. Like growing up, there was nobody talking to me about taking time for yourself, having self-care, setting boundaries. Like, I didn't know what any of that stuff was. So I felt like if I did it to my family, they would hate me and it would be a problem. So, it's like full circle coming to this park now, where since then I've lost about 35 pounds and my mindset is in a different space. And even as I think about my future, which seems so uncertain right now because I am definitely knee deep in a mom life crisis, I just wanted to share because I can imagine how many of you out there were feeling like I was feeling. In 2020, I was feeling so lost and I had so much on me. The pandemic hit. My kids were in school. I was in school. I was working full time. Now I had to teach them at home. And it was a lot. And it just started making me think, like, who made you the new adult with no training, But now I just think about how important it is to really take care of myself. Sidebar what I'm eating. Okay. That's my treat to myself. But what I think about is the plan that I created, right? So this is a 4-step strategy to give you a practical, quick way to come up with prioritizing your needs, finding your identity, and really taking care of yourself without being apologetic. Like, we got to stop feeling bad when we as moms say we're going to take care of ourselves. Or even if you're just a person, you don't got to be a mom. But moms, I'm talking to y'all because I know how things are for us. It's rough. It gets real. So with the plan, let me get a little swig and I'm going to break it down for you. So the P in plan is for promise. All right. I want you to promise yourself something that you really want to do for yourself, whether it's getting back into the gym, starting to save money, finding a better job, going to school, asking for that promotion, asking for that divorce, parting ways with toxic people and toxic situations. I want you to do that for yourself, okay? Make the promise to yourself. Ask yourself, if you keep this promise to yourself, what does your life look like? Sometimes we need hope. Sometimes we need to actually see why the path that we want to take is so important, Do that for yourself, right? Next, the L is for laying that foundation. And when you lay that foundation, what does that look like? What do you need to get that promise started so it can really have some anchor to it, So things that can help you lay the foundation. Let's say you want to change the way you eat. You got to shop differently, right? You got to stop ordering out. You might have to buy organic. Go to different restaurants, go to different supermarkets. If you're going for that promotion, it might be dressing a little different when you go to work. It might be doing some research and really finding out about the position that you want. So when you get that interview, because we're not going to say if, we're going to say when you get that interview, you know what the hell you're talking about. You do not want to roll up in nowhere sounding crazy, right? It could be that you need time away from your kids. So that foundation can be actually leaving them with somebody that you trust, but really leaving them, not calling every 5 minutes, not making a plan to leave them and then changing your mind, saying that nobody's good enough to watch them. You know, it's about preparing yourself. Preparation is key. That's why you need a plan. The A is for alignment. Align yourself with a support system, okay? This is usually like-minded people who feel like they want to get out of a rut too. They're tired of being in crisis. They're tired of being in survival mode. And they're trying to figure out how to get out of it. So y'all can support each other. What does support look like? That person that you can text, hey, I'm having a bad day. And they can remind you about that promise you made to yourself, right? It looks like the mom maintenance community that I created, where it's a round table situation of moms who have had so many different experiences. You know, one mom hasn't had all the experiences. Some moms have lost children. Some moms have adult children. Some moms have pandemic babies, right? Some moms live out of the country and now they're struggling to figure out a way to fit in being from America but living somewhere else, right? And vice versa. There's so many different ways that we can help each other with our stories and with networking to provide like tools and resources to really help one another. And aligning with people who are like-minded is so helpful for those dark days, because those days when you are feeling really down, the last thing you need is a hater to co-sign and bring you down even more, okay? Now, the N is for never settle, okay? If you made a promise to yourself, I want you to treat yourself the way you treat other people when you look at them as your best friend or somebody that you care about. You work to not let them down. You work to help them meet their goals. You work to be their cheerleader. Can you please do that for yourself? Can you please take the time and say, you know what? I know I'm tired and I don't want to get up today, but I'm going to push myself. And even if I get in the gym and only do 10 minutes walking on a treadmill, at least I made it, right? It could be, you know what? I really want some fries right now, but I know that that's not in my diet plan. Instead, let me go get a baked potato. It could be, you know what? I'm really scared right now. Let me call somebody in my support system and let them know how scared I am, because I need to say it out loud and get it off my chest and cry and feel that emotion. And maybe I'll feel better. You don't know what you don't know. Okay. But learning that you don't want to settle, you want different, you're learning how to change in a positive manner. That means sometimes doing things that you haven't done before. Really, a lot of times it means that, you know. So imagine being able to do that for yourself and give yourself a whole new life. It's amazing. And this 4-step system that I just shared with you is actually going to be in a workbook format. You'll have journaling prompts, so you'll be able to go back and look at your thought process. You're going to also be able to have pages to write down notes and different things, and just really dive into the importance of putting yourself first. A lot of us have not been taught that. I'm teaching my kids that, and sometimes it's difficult because, you know, you have to actively do it. I have to actively stop and say, you know what? If you don't want to go outside because your sister wants to go outside, you don't got to go outside. You can say no and we'll figure something out from there. It's teaching fairness. It's teaching kindness, but not only to other people, to yourself. I can imagine how different my life would have been if I realized a long time ago how important I am. It took me almost 45 years to realize how important I am after I done let some of the craziest toxic people walk all over me, make me feel less than, made me doubt myself, took advantage of me. And, you know, before I used to be upset about it, I used to want to hurt them the way they hurt me, because hurt people hurt people. But then after a while, I said, you know what? I allowed it. I got to take my power back. And then realizing that I allowed it, it lets me know that I don't have to allow it anymore. It makes me understand that it's time for me to move forward and figure out what's best for my life, not to wait for other people to wake up and see how special I am. I woke up and saw how special I am. I'm Neo in the Matrix. So as I work on putting the plan together, I do have something for you. It's the Mom's Mini Momentum Blueprint. It is a free download on my Stand store. I will share the link in the bio. I will also put a little picture of it right here because I be knowing how to edit. I'm working on it. And what I love about it is there are 3 simple steps in there to help you through. I'm gonna give you one right now. Have you ever heard of batching? Batching is when, like, you meal prep, right? So let's say on Sunday afternoon, you got the clothes in the laundry, you are starting dinner, but as you're starting dinner, that 20-pound bag of chicken or box of chicken, you're taking it out, you're seasoning it, you're putting it in olive oil, and you're putting it in Ziploc bags to put it in the freezer. So now when you're ready during the week to have 3 or 4 meals that consist of chicken, you're literally dumping that out of the freezer into a pot and it can cook. Now you got your stewed chicken. Or you can put it in the air fryer. Everything is already ready. Taking that little bit of extra time when you make time so you can have more time during the week can just lift so much stress off of you. I have been doing it, and I actually bought a big thing of olive oil from Sam's Club because it was $5 off yesterday because I want to get back into my meal prepping. Going places like the International Market or Aldi's and getting like those long trays of chicken legs for like $4 or $5, baby, it just saves you so much money. And then once I bring it in, I just go ahead and clean it, get it off the way if I have time, or I'll leave it in the fridge for a couple of days and get to it. But the point is that batching in that way to cook for the week saves me so much time because when I go in, I'm like, oh, I know what I'm going to make, right? So that's one of the steps. You can batch other things in the same way. Something else that I do that I consider batching is the way I wash clothes. I start washing on Thursday and I want to wash until Sunday. So Thursday, I'll wash like all my bed linens and my towels. Friday is when everybody starts to wash their clothes. So clothes are Friday, Saturday, and then uniforms for school and work are on Sunday. So, of course, I got a family of 5. Everybody does not adhere to this. But to me, if I do it in that way, at least on Thursday, I got my important stuff out the way. I'm washing the towels and the sheets the way that I want, folding them up, drying them and putting them away. You know, little things like that. I know y'all can relate. It's certain things that you like to do yourself, so everything is good. So you can download that. You can also become a member of the Mom Maintenance community for absolutely free. It's my Facebook group. I will also put the link down in the comments below. And I really hope that this helps someone. And let me give you another shot of the park because now nobody, look at how beautiful this park is. So talking to you all, I wanted to come out here and just capture my thoughts and just remind you that, you know, there is some light at the end of the tunnel. Like I can imagine 2020 me walking over here just in desperation, in survival mode, feeling lonely, feeling trapped, feeling like nobody really trying to just navigate and find a way. If 2025 me would have walked into me and said, hey, you know, you're going to be all right. You're going to be okay. I probably would have burst into tears because I really didn't think I was going to be all right and okay. I had so much on my plate then. I feel like I got a lot on my plate now, but I had a lot on my plate then too. And it was very difficult to even think about being happy and finding myself and, you know, all of these things because I honestly didn't think I was worthy. But I'm coming around and doing the work on me is helping me to walk more in my purpose. And in my purpose is to help other people who have felt just like me. It's all in our mind. It's our mindset. And when you start to get that awareness and that self-love, there's no going back. Nobody can take advantage of you anymore unless you allow them. That's your power. I want you to remember your superpower. Like, I wish I could go back and tell myself in 2020, it's what you allow, not what people are going to do to you. You don't got to be the nice pushover all the time. You know, you don't got to be the one that has to be nice for everybody to say, oh, she's a nice one. You report on yourself. You do what you feel is right. For me, I'd rather have people say, don't mess with her. because she ain't got time for that, as opposed to, oh no, she's nice, go ask her, she'll do it, because that burns us out, that drains us, that's exhaustion. Okay, so I look forward to my next video. Maybe I'll come out here, maybe I'll do it in my studio, we'll see what happens. But I'm glad that I came out here today. It feels good to see that the work that I've been doing on myself has been working out, and it's been worth it, and I'm worth it. I'm Tasha G, the Transformation Guide, and I help overwhelmed moms with mindset techniques so they can learn ways to regulate their emotions and grow their mindsets. Because at the end of the day, the personal growth journey is one of the most important journeys that you'll ever take. And when you're able to reclaim your power and your identity, you found yourself.